I've been following all your social media stuff. You guys are knocking it out of the park.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
And we did the marathon last week.
Did you really?
Yeah. Well, half anyway.
That's impressive.
So,
you ran it?
Yeah.
I don't run. It's not my thing. I'll run like maybe a mile and then I call it quits.
So I got that going on. I'm learning Italian.
That makes
once a
sense.
week in lessons. Yeah, I know.
You should be at this point.
And then I'm writing a novel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's
Say
keeping
all
me
this
busy.
stuff. All right. I want you to put all that stuff in what that. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, for
I'm
goodness
here.
sake.
All right, everybody. We're with Eric Fisher of Fisher Architecture. Phenomenal guy and his wife, Bea, which hopefully we'll find. But Eric, just to summarize our catch up right there, he just ran half the Pittsburgh Marathon. He's now writing a novel, which I just found out. And just great people, great architects. But please tell everybody you're at Pittsburgh Build AIA. Why is that? And
Sure. So we got asked to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've had folks from 26 different countries working for our tiny business over the last 20 years of our business. So that's kept us busy. And then this afternoon, we're talking about getting big ideas built on a budget. And
Yes.
so we're into our particular notion of quality in design. And so often architects' budget runs short for the buildings they're designing. How can you accomplish quality architecture, especially in a city like Pittsburgh, where there's not as much money to
Yes.
build projects as in LA or New York? How can you do that on a budget?
Yep.
And it's a continuing issue for us and for architects in general.
And us too. Because a lot of time people don't know how to budget things as they go. So, sorry to cut you off too, but
No, you're not cutting me off at all. It's interesting to me.
what we've been finding with a lot of these bigger jobs is doing design build, and an architect and a general contractor and a customer get together in the initial phases. And every time there's an iteration, you make budget updates so that everybody is aligned. So that's what we've been finding.
We've been working with, and you're familiar with this process, a negotiated bid
Yes.
that works similarly, where the architect, the contractor, and the owner all work together as a team. You get numbers at schematic design, again at design development, and again at CDs. The challenge is it's really hard for the contractor to know from a schematic set
Yep.
what the final set is going to contain. And
That's true.
the problem that we've had with the process, and I can't think of a better way to handle it, is that sometimes the numbers will go up by 30, 40.
Yes.
We had a project come in last week, it came in double
Yep.
what the contractor, who's good at what he does,
Yeah.
and acts in good faith, came up with just 3 months earlier.
That's right. It is hard from an 8x11 piece of paper to a full set of construction drawings. And we're in the same boat, and we're trying to figure out the process of how do we solve that as a team. But I think that's very valuable that everybody's talking about it, because I don't think it's just us, and I definitely don't think it's just you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fantastic.
There's something about the nature of the process, though, that puts the architects and the contractors against one another. So anything we can do that helps form teams
Yes.
and brings us together is a valuable thing. Communication is so important, and understanding where each other's coming from.
And we've obviously worked together, we know each other, we approach everything very relationship based and not for one project, but lifetime. And so that is exactly what we want to narrow down, not the architect GC, but the architect GC customer like this.
Totally
So we're
hear
aligned.
you.
So real fast, before we go, wanted to give a synopsis of Fisher Architecture and your just mission statement and what you design.
So our claim to fame is, if you Google Pittsburgh architecture, for the last 10 years, we've been at or near the top. We're hip with a certain coveted 18 to 24-year-old demographic, but that's because we do interesting, progressive,
Yes.
thoughtful work. We're a small business, so we get to spend more time on the designs. In architecture, more time means better work. And we follow the principle of pushing our designs exactly as far as we feel we can get away with without losing the client. because our idea is to propel Pittsburgh architecture into the future.
Yeah, I love it.
Thanks.
I love it. Great seeing you, man.
All right.
Always good.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
I love that you just did it.
Can you ask him about his novel real quick? Can we get that? Like, hear
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
All right,
You
now-
can just hold that one too. Go ahead.
So I've been thinking about writing this book for 20 years. I wrote a memoir when I was in my 30s and then haven't really written since. So I've crafted the first chapter. The idea is to rethink Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead.
One of my favorite books of all time.
And I hate it because, and the reason is that I don't think that it talks realistically about the way architects actually lead their lives.
That's
and
fair. That
I
is fair.
think too, the notion that a single individual, this genius figure, can work without a good team around him to effectuate real projects is not true. So what I wanted to do was write a book in which the characters aren't stereotypes or caricatures, they're real people, one. And then two, I wanted to write a book that talks about architecture and the way we actually lead our lives and the way projects actually get built, as opposed to the way we'd like them to work in our own minds.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It gets designed perfect, it's built perfect, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. And I get why you like the book. It talks about the value of design and architecture. It talks about the importance of standing up for what you believe.
Yes.
I get all of that.
Yeah, just different parts. But I see your point of view too. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to be the first person to buy your book. You let me know when you get close.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
I'll
Awesome.
do that.
Good
Again,
seeing you.
take care.
I'll see you, man.
All right.
Take care, bro.
See you all.